Cal, given I know there'll be limits as to what you've put in and all that, but with where you are right now, how close are you defensively to where you want to be today?
No, we're not close there. Look, I was thinking about it today. I was driving over here, and I started doing November, December, January, February. I got 4 months to get this thing right. 4 months. And if I try to do it in 2 weeks, I'm going to cheat the kids and drive myself crazy. Yesterday, I got goofy stuff going on, so I didn't get to work out, so I probably wasn't in the frame of mind I need to be in to coach this basketball team. As long as they're trying, I got to be good with it. So the things I can't accept and won't ever accept, I need more effort, more intensity, more fight, more concentration. Other than that, everything else is throw up 5 balls. Here we go. Don't know what's going to happen. Why did you do that? I don't know why. What do you say to that? Oh my gosh, he doesn't know why. So, we're not. I've got 4 months. I've got 4 months. To help this team, put them in a position of how they're going to play offensively and defensively to do something special. It's just we are what we are right now.
Did you have all your guys in practice yesterday? And
no, James did not practice, and I made him run up and down the court limping because he was late for a treatment. But short of that, no. But Andrew was good. And then when I watched the tape, we're a different team, which is nice to see. He still doesn't throw lobs because he hadn't practiced with us enough. He's trying to throw wraparounds that, 1, they can't catch, and 2, they can't finish. But that's okay. I can get that sorted out. And he knows when he didn't throw it. But he makes us different.
How would you describe that, John, that difference?
It's like you're playing your football game and your wide receiver is your quarterback. Now your quarterback comes back and you're like, okay, now guys are in the right spots.
Will James, you said he didn't practice, will he try to go today? Will he
don't know until I go. Until I get in there, I don't know. Alex was good again yesterday. Alex has been really good. He's narrowed his game, and he's trying to play harder, and he's not caving in and stopping, and there's no excuse. So he knows it. So he's playing. He played well yesterday.
That urgency finally.
I don't know. I mean, it hits kids at different times. I mean, he's one of those kids, a straight A student. You love him to death. I do everything right. We'll do a couple things wrong and play better. How about that?
Now, wait, from your vantage point, what's the best thing you got out of the 2 exhibition games?
We don't understand intensity, and there's so many nuances of defense that we don't have down yet. The team's coming up set diagonal screens. We're awful, and just don't know it yet. We're not good in pick and rolls yet. We did stuff yesterday in pick and roll because we thought we'd play a certain way. We can't. So now we got to change it today and try to figure out if something else is good. And we got a game tomorrow. We've got to go against zone majority of this practice because that's probably what we're going to face the next few games. So let's do that, which changes practice around. So a practice plan I had set last night, when I woke up this morning and thought about it, I walked in and changed it, tore that one up, and did another one. I don't know if I've ever done that before. Normally, my gut of what we need to do is pretty good the night after. But again, they weren't as bad as I thought they were when I watched the tape practicing yesterday.
How little has Andrew been able to practice this preseason?
How about this? We probably, with he and James on the floor together, probably 2 or 3 practices. And that's it. So either one's out or the other's out, and it's mainly been Andrew. Now, let me say this. It's been great for Aaron. So one guy's misery is another guy's opportunity. And it was great for him. James being out gives Alex more opportunity to be on the court. It gives us a chance to play with Willie and one of those bigs together. So that's been good.
I think Willie and Marcus said on media day that none of the guards are exactly good at throwing lobs yet. It's just a process they're going to have to go through.
Yeah, they all have. And they've all had to do it. I mean, I can remember Eric Bledsoe, who, by the way, is playing great, throwing it off the shot clock and getting so mad he didn't want to play. I mean, and I just kept making him throw it. And by the end, he was a great lob passer. And you think of this team, we've got to keep the ball up. We're going to play teams that are smaller than us, like every team. So you can't throw it down here on the floor. You have to throw it up where they can finish the play.
Do you like that Willie's a guy who seemed like it was a pretty easy button to push? He said at halftime, he said either you block shots or you don't play.
Well, we
and he
have
goes
games
out.
coming up that are really going to be physical, like physical football games. And then we'll find out, okay, now, what button do I push now? Because that game, this game, that game, they're not trying to play basketball, they're going to play football. And like the new rules, just so you understand, if you have the ball, it's kind of like you're the quarterback now. You're protected. If you don't have the ball, all's fair in love and war. Like, you can boom. As long as the guy's running, you don't step in and give him a forearm chuck, which is a foul at any point. You can still get on a guy's body. You can still, if you have the ball, you're like a quarterback. You get the red jersey on. Don't touch it.
Cal,
So,
is toughness one of the things you're not worried about, or are you still worried about it?
oh yeah, no, and it's again that look, we're going to be going against just about every team we play, and they're going to have a 21-year-old, a 22-year-old, but we're going to be 18 and 19 years old, and even our sophomores are 19. So we're out there with a bunch of young kids, and the other guys are 3 years older, and that's big at this age. That's as big as a 16-year-old playing against a 19-year-old. It's huge. An 18 and a 22. It's huge. But we have the physical presence, if we want, to be able to do it. But it's going to be, you know, going to have to go do it. We're going to have to be there. I think they'll be stunned when they really see it.
Cal, is this re-up for the Champions Classic, the big event you were talking about, or do you still have something
No,
else?
we had another event, so it's that thing is rolling down the pike the way we want it to. So Dwayne will probably announce something here in the next couple weeks. There's another event out there that we may do, and that one we're going through the event. The issue becomes playing teams this early is not fair for my team. It may be fair for everybody else, but it's not fair for my team. And our program is not traditional. So we'll have 4 or 5 kids come back, but 5 or 6 will leave. So this is not traditional. It's a program. We graduate our kids. We're getting good grades. We count on each other. They come back after they leave here. They invest in our community. Marcus just called back where I want to give money back to Lexington. How can I do it? You know, so it is a program and they're connected. It's just not traditional in a sense that everybody stays 4 years and, you know, so it's not fair when we walk in and everybody's more experienced than us and it's your first or second or third game out of the gate. We're at a big disadvantage.
Speaking of Wayne and scheduling, are you all right with this 3 games in 5 days?
Yeah, we had to because we needed more than one game to get ready for a game in Chicago. And that thing's it's taken on a life of its own. The other tournament will be the same when you hear it, or the other setup, whatever, you know, it'll take a life of its own too. Then you still have the North Carolina and the Louisville and the Big Ten Challenge and a game, and all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, what are you doing? And you don't know who your team's going to be. You know, you risk a lot, especially early season. It's just tough.
I think there was some report from Texas that you were going to play UTEP for the Texas Western Anniversary.
We've been approached about that, and that's in our wheelhouse. It's something that we're considering. So, but again, that's not been finalized. And like I said, every event out there wants us in it. It doesn't matter what the event is. They're calling us to be in their event.
Have you had a chance to watch any of the NBA stuff? I know you've been with you guys in the NBA, former players.
Oh yeah, I talked to Michael last night. I talked to Eric Bledsoe about 3 nights ago. I told Anthony Davis when he set the record, I said, you'd have never done that if I'd have let you shoot more. Because that's his thing all the time. You never let me shoot. Saying you're one of the best players in the decade, and what are you saying? I should have done more? What else do you want me to do? He's a great kid. They're all great kids. I want to see Darius back playing well. John Wall had a big game last night. You know, DeMarcus has been great. Patrick. You know, Daniel Orton's still in the league. I think DeAndre, if he can get that other stuff cleared up, will be back in the league. You know, they're all. I'm proud of all the guys. I really am. Brandon, I haven't really followed some of the stuff in Milwaukee, how he's playing, but I would imagine, knowing him, he's doing well.
Now, last question. When you say when you're driving in, or when you think, okay, I'm going to tear up my practice plan or my lesson plan?
Usually it's in the morning before,
all this?
yeah, it's before I even get in my car.
When you're going through that stuff in your head, are you thinking now, okay, there's one or two guys, we gotta get this guy going, we gotta get
Yeah,
this guy?
but here's what was funny.
Who are those
Orlando,
guys?
let me just tell you, Orlando, because most times, I'll be honest, I'm in the shower. And I'm thinking, okay, what the heck? Because there's nothing in water hitting you in soap, and you think. So Orlando hit me this summer and said, "You won't believe this. I'm in the shower thinking of stuff, getting ready for the Dominican." I said, "Yeah, when you get all these thoughts, they got to come out somewhere. And normally it's when everything dies down, and you're sitting there, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh." And then you're washing your face again for the 5th time. You're like, I just washed my face 5 times. Yeah, we need to get a group of 7 guys, maybe 8, but more likely 7, playing together and let them play. That's the main thing we got to do. Just let's get those 7, get a rotation going, and get them playing. You know, you got 2 point guards in that mix. You got, you know, guys that can play 2 and 3. You got guys that can play 3 and 4. You got guys that can play 5 and 4. So you can keep coming at any point. You got enough post-up players. You got enough shooters. Let's go. Now, we're not a unit. Now, when I say that, we are not a selfish team. We're an unselfish team. We're just not a unit. We're not clicking defensively, offensively. We don't help each other the way we should. We don't have each other's back the way we should. We don't create enough easy shots. We don't make the easy play. We're trying to make an extra, which makes it tougher on my teammate when I get him the ball. And I'm going to be honest, that may be 2 months from now. So what? I drove in today and smiled and said, I got 4 months. Don't be panicking. As I had both feet on the panic button.
So when you talk about 7, do you want them right now or you want them in March?
No, we're gonna start 7, having a group of 7, and then is that the right 7? Does that change?
Might add or subtract?
Or subtract. There's foul troubles. There's injuries. But we have a nice grouping of players that we have enough guys that we can start narrowing in. And you know, it's when you're trying to build a team. When I talked to Coach Wooden in 2010 when he was still alive, and I asked him, "Did you watch my team?" He said, "I really like your team. You know what? I can't get them to. They're not quite a unit yet. They're not this." And he said, "You're trying to play too many people." And he said, "In our time, you played 6 guys, maybe 7." And you fought in practice to become one of those 6 or 7. And if you didn't, you were ready for your opportunity, but you're not in that 6 or 7. You have different deals now. Now you got recruiting, you got APR, you got all this transfer stuff. We didn't have all that. You know, so, and he's right, but on the other side he's right. You can't try to play 10 guys. Now, you can try to get 12 in a game, but when in the heat of a game, you can't play that many guys.
Thank you, guys.
Is that it?